Hello world. Today at Genergy on the ground, we give an answer. We teach, we learn how to change the accelerator of the Cidacos, which is exactly the same as the Turia used by our follower Eugenio from Alicante. There in Vega Baja de Alicante, he has a little spin. They sent us a video of the plantation of how to manage drip irrigation with this Turia, so that you can see he's a charming person there. So let's go with a little piece of his video. Now after the intro, always tell you that to repair any Genergy equipment, let's always use genuine parts, okay? In this case, we are going to use, as I say, this spare part, which is the accelerator of La Turia, which is exactly the same as the one in the city, because the complete accelerator is worth. Let's learn how to do it. Intro and get to work.
Mira aquí desde Alicante, Fran, las cebollicas. Estos son los indie, mira. Todo regado con motores Genergy, indie. Tengo un aljibe de agua y con el motorcico ese Turia, ¿lo ves? Con todo el sistema de goteo. Ahí tengo calabazas, lechugas, son patatas, allá hay árboles y lo tengo todo con goteo. Toda la finca, desde todos los árboles que se ven, todos se riegan con el aparatico que lo tengo allí en la casa. Estos son tomateras, sandías, melones, alcachofas, que aquí se dicen alcasiles, pepinos, picoses, yo qué sé, aquí hay esto. De verdad, no así, berenjenas, pimientos, ¿entiendes? Y porque aún no está esto, y tomates, mira todos los tomates. Me cago en la mar. Si aquí se crían unos tomates, que esto es, mira, tiene. Y eso que la mata tiene nada, que la puse hace nada, un mes y medio. Mira qué tomaticos. Y eso, mira esa lechuguica, esas son lechuguicas de roble, eso está como la miel, eso. Con estiércol de caballo de un amigo que me lo regala. Buah. Un espectáculo.
Thank you, Eugenio, with all my heart, and I love that you have that positive experience with Genergy products, because we are from home, that is spare parts nearby, technical service. Well, close to the topic of parts. Indeed, it is a pleasure to have heard you and that small video that you have made for us. Now let's go to the process. We are going to change it. Well, once we take the pieces out of the bag, we are left with all this in our hand, which is a small mechanism that perhaps at first glance we may have a problem. Any difficulty knowing how it was going? How's it going? You have the explosion of this engine throttle on the page. When we take the split of both Asilactic and Turia, we can see the pieces one by one. Okay, but before we start taking anything out, let's leave the parts here and let's see how it's assembled to fit that in the same place and in the same way. This is the best way not to go wrong. Alright, look, I'm going to use this drill to go faster, and we'll take a key that in this case, if I remember correctly, I think it's number 10. Okay? Come on, the only thing to disassemble, you don't have to disassemble the carburetor, but yes, the deposit is worth the deposit, which is 3 screws, these 2 at the top. And in the case where this motorcycle pump, the one down here, is worth this well. And you see that the tool I am using is a small autoclick set, and the drill that could also do it well at hand. Why did I remove the deposit? Because I want to actually see the throttle. Look, we find it very easy to recognize the pieces. Here we see this is worth and very important to place. each piece in its place as it is placed here. We see here the compensation dock that must be placed there, okay, and it is taken down here. Okay, now I'm going this way and the camera shows you where this piece is taken. Look, okay, it's taken here, that he's the commander. The command that comes out from inside the engine that drives this throttle. Okay, of course we have it here. Look at this side. Here we have the throttle. That is the throttle position we are going to choose, huh? Of course. Look, it's easy to identify the same piece, huh? There is no loss. This is the piece that we have to put in that place, okay? This way, we are not going to make a mistake. This hole that we see here is where this dock that we have here goes. Okay, and in turn, this dock is the one that pulls this lever. Okay, and we'll always see when we're going to change the throttle. In what position is that dock? Okay, we see that the other end of the dock is placed in hole number 2. Well, that's it. Let's change the throttle. By the way, this throttle is fine. But for you to do it, learn to do it. We're going to do it here too. Okay, let's start by disconnecting the part of the accelerator here. Okay, look at this little plastic. Okay, it gives us the bar anchor. Come on, man, now, okay, we take it out here. Let's start by taking out the dock. Well, come on, that's it. There we have it out. Okay, we take out the rod and we take out the dock. There we have it. Okay, we already have it loose. May I remind you that this is exactly the same thing that we're going to put it here. Okay? Well, once we have removed the dock from here, we are now going to remove the larger piece, which is this one from here, okay, which is where the dock and everything else is attached. Come on, let's come this way. I'll leave that there for now. I'll take the drill and let's loosen the lever, okay? It has this screw here, okay? With that I can let it go, and now we're going to remove it. There are 2 screws for this. In this case, look, I use this, okay? This is very good because it will allow me to loosen lateral times. Look at this nut, there I have it, okay? This screw there is safe, and we are going to get the other one that is here. They are the 2 who carry, so it is not very complicated. There it is, and look, I already have the accelerator in my hand. See, here I have it. I take out the accelerator lever, wait for me to remove the dock, and so I get it out of here. Look. I already have this one. Remember, that was the accelerator. Okay, look, here I have it. It's the same one I have here. It's worth the same piece. See? So I'm going to put this in its place. It's very simple. I'm doing it step by step so that the topic is clear to you. Okay, I'm going to take this out anyway to make everything complete. Okay, look. It's already coming out there. I have it in my hand. See, here is this lever. It is exactly the same as this one. Since it is an original spare part, it is that simple. Okay, well, we place this lever. Okay, we are going to place it in the same position as it was. Look, you see this little triangle that's right here. Okay. It's up. Well, we're going to place it just like it was. I already noticed you too when you remove it. Look at the position it is so that it stays in the same position for us, in the same position. Look, go. There is my accelerator, which is in the part closest to the carburetor. Okay, let's go squeeze it. Okay, wait, let's remove the trocar. the joint and we are going to tighten, okay? As I say, we stick it there, okay? And we tighten here, okay? That's it. Look, you see, it's already rotating. You see how the stem rotates, okay? It's very tight like that there. Perfect. Well, this one is, now we can even put the dock that we said was going to the second position. You see it here? There it is in the second position so that it doesn't fall. This is more. Now it's here as tomorrow, you see. There I take the dock. I'm going to be taking the lever to its place. Okay? And now the piece. What is this? The original piece in this hole. Here goes that dock. Okay, come on, let's place it here and I'll leave you hooked on the perfect dock. I already have to put the dock in. So what happens now? Well, now I place the corresponding screws that are here. Okay, let's point one and then the other. We've marked it down comprehensively, indicating it's worth the acquisition, situated right here for full evaluation.
Okay, I've got the two screws pointed, the dock is in place.
I'm going secure it tightly as I'll re-engage the connection momentarily. Evidently, it's not exceedingly challenging, correct? It is easy to place. Wait, Frank, who has a handful of fingers. At this juncture, it's securely positioned there, all right, as we meticulously identify the alternative component currently residing here in its entirety. Perfect. Proceeding smoothly, elaborating further.
There we have our throttle mounted now.
We put both the dock.
What's the last montage? Like this clip that is going to be the one that closes is
Movement is from there, okay, from there to here. We carefully position this element, effectively sealing it upon integration with the adjacent component. Spring, so it doesn't come out, and we meticulously placed our imperative docking mechanism, given its critical significance. Without it, departure wouldn't be feasible. To do. Embark on the activity with heightened vigor, observing the culmination at this location. Perfect. That's it.
Okay, there I have our throttle already placed.
Okay, 4. Stop it. Regular, we're going to place, well, from here it looks good for regulate the accelerator. That is the last revolutions of.
What do we do when we accelerate or don't accelerate? We'll act on the east screw down here and that's it. He doesn't have any more because this dock is the one that pulls the accelerator.
Speed up. Oh, sorry. There is relenti concho. This is where relenti is when it is running, because now it goes forward, but when it is running, it stays here. This would be the stop. That black screw is the relenti stop. And when we give it down the lever, that we increase the tension, you can see that it forces you to go towards the accelerator. In fact, if we look at it here, look here in this drawing, we're seeing turtle upwards. Hare, that is accelerated downwards, okay? And there we see the tension well. It's accelerating, okay? Well, that's how you change the throttle. We are going to place the deposit in its place. There we place the corresponding screws up here. One, the two, we place the third below. Well, and there we have replaced, since the accelerator has no more science, it is easy to replace. Step by step, follow the same process. Okay, Eugenio, take note, and this way you change the accelerator without problem. More information, well, here on this page that you are seeing, nenergy.es, please come irrigation time. I recommend that you take a look at our website there for motor pumps, because there are high pressure motor pumps. Medium pressure flow motor pumps. Eugenio told me about the Turia that you can see it here on the website. It has 2.8 kg of pressure and yet it feeds a dripper perfectly. That is a small garden. A dripper field manages it perfectly because the self-compensating dripper opens with 1.5 kilo and at 3.5 kilos it blocks. That is, it has a fairly wide pressure range to be able to work. With any Genergy motor pump, we have motor pumps that have up to 9 kilos of pressure, that is 9 bars of pressure. We can choose one, the irrigation time comes, and it is good that we visit Genergy. It is the motorcycle pump section among others. And if you want more information, well, we are too. Our emails, our phones are at your disposal for any query you want to ask us, and please propose us things you want to see on the channel and we will gladly do it as happened today. Important, it is also forbidden to stop learning.